So we have a call, we talk about marketing and how we're gonna launch in their stores. And I was like, man, my dream of launching in Holland and Barrett is close, man. You know, we were so happy. And then they disappeared. So I think in August 2023, the buyer came back, actually confirmed to me, oh, I'm sorry for the delay. You know, there was this and that. I'm the new buyer, but I just want to confirm, unfortunately, we are not looking to stock you because
this happens. And how do you respond?
So I said to myself, you want to waste my time, but it's not going to be a waste of my time. Took my cardboard, went in front of their stores across London. And I took a particular picture of the first one I did, which was in Catford, the Holland and Barrett store. And I wrote on the cardboard, snacks so yummy, they copied in a hurry. And then I posted it, boom, straight up in the first 15 minutes, 600 likes. People just tagging Holland and Barrett, going on the website, signing up, buying snack. My website is flying. I was, to be honest, I was like, maybe it's not gonna fly. And but then I've not spent a penny on this campaign online. It's crazy.
Yeah.
These big companies, they have money, but they can't beat us with creativity.
Giuseppe Baidoo is the founder of healthy snack brand Gusto Snacks. 2 weeks ago, he posted about how a major retailer copied his products, so he dressed like a thief. The response was phenomenal. Over 50,000 likes, millions of impressions, and it shows the true power of building a community-led brand. In today's episode, we go through Giuseppe's whole entrepreneurial journey, from the origins of his first business to the failure of that and taking the learnings to starting Gusto and everything in between. Guys, this is one you do not want to miss. And of course, guys, let's not forget, he tells us all about how this major retailer copied his products and what he did in response. Now enjoy the episode. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of What My Best Friend Does, where we talk to best friends in the hope of inspiring you to take immediate action. Today, I'm joined by my best friend, the founder and CEO of Gusto Snacks, Giuseppe Baidoo.
Yeah.
Got that right? Yeah, here we go.
100%.
Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me today.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We like to start with a little icebreaker. What did you want to be growing up?
So many things, actually.
Yeah.
I remember I wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor. I mean, again, growing up in an African household, you're kind of taught to, see these things as top, top career aspirations. But as I was going forward, then I learned how to be creative as well. I think in middle school, I was sketching and someone told me, yeah, you have to go and be an artist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be an artist one day. Then now I'm a founder, I was a model at some point,
Okay.
I played basketball at some point. And then, life has its way of, taking you to a certain journey and you learn as you go and you become, who you want to be at some point. But very excited.
I love that. And, you mentioned there, you did some modeling, you've been good at art. Mm-hmm. Let's take it back. Like, you're a founder now. Have you always been entrepreneurial and business minded? When did you first pick up the bug, would you say?
Not at all. When it came to business, when I was in Italy, I didn't have the business mindset.
Okay.
But playing basketball, and also I was doing athletic before basketball, I had this mindset of really working hard and pushing myself. I remember there was a coach that really injected that mindset in me, whereby, if you want to be greater than everybody out there, you have to train when everybody's resting as well, And that really changed my behavior and the way I see things. So when I came to the UK...
how old were you?
I was about 22.
Okay.
I didn't have in mind that I was ever going to start a business, but I wanted to, first of all, find work, but a good work. And since I was doing product design in university, I really pushed myself with everything so much that at some point I found the university very boring because I was ahead of my, colleagues in class. And to be honest, I was just looking for a job. And I did the last year presentation whereby It was about reducing food waste and turning them into drinks initially. And then someone walked in and they saw my presentation. They asked who actually did this because it was high level.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Are you already doing this? Because it seems like,
It seemed legit.
It seems
Like,
legit."
yeah.
And I was like, "No, I'm actually looking for a product design job." And they're like, "Wait a minute, listen, you can be an entrepreneur because with this idea, I can help you start something." So he took me into an accelerator. He taught me so much how to start a business, how to manage things, but he wasn't in the food industry, so the rest was up to me really to push it. And I started doing research, applying for the competition. So that is when actually I started having the mindset of the entrepreneur.
Okay, so after, and you mentioned the fact that you had like the final year project. Why food waste? Because you've kind of carried that between all the businesses you've started. Why food waste at that time?
Yeah, so when I was in Italy, I did my national service, and I had the option to choose to go to war, be a soldier, or actually work with charities.
Okay.
I choose to work with charities.
That's what I would do as well. I didn't know they did national service in Italy.
Yeah, I did.
2 years?
I did. It was 2 years.
Wow.
It was 2 years,
Okay.
and I really dedicated my time to the community. And I used to work with these charities whereby we will go to supermarkets and get food that they can't sell and then distribute it to families who are in need, basically. So that kind of
Stuck with you.
Exactly. And I just wanted to one day do something, have a charity or do something for people, for the community and the planet. And when I started that project, I was like, wait, actually, there is this thing about food waste. Let me look into it a bit more. And during the research, I found out that it's a massive problem that is still going on. And the project actually allowed me to even go in deeper. I visited farmers, I visited traders, and there was so much going on. And that is what really pushed me to start the business.
Wow. Okay, so you do the project, okay, then you meet this person, he gets you on the accelerator program, you get investment. All right. What's the first business that you start? Because it's not Gusto first, right? I believe it's the drinks company.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So it was called Ooze Drinks.
Okay.
And again, the idea behind that was about sustainability, ethical drinks, whereby we work with farmers, help them to be more sustainable. We save the food that they can't sell because of many reasons, but the main ones is aesthetic reasons. Shape too big, too small,
Crazy.
wrong color,
Yeah.
and blemished, and they call them wonky fruits. And there is so much of this being wasted. Supermarket don't buy them. So went to farmers, saw that the problem was there, and I started buying these fruits and then using them. But initially, I didn't have my own equipment. So to get that, I applied for competitions here and there. I had also 2 other business partners who joined me. They were actually my classmates and some good friends as well. So I took them on, said, let's go on this journey. We all didn't know what we were doing. It was a complete mess. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
No structure to the business. But the good thing is that we had a vision, really. So we just started in our kitchen initially. Then the council gave us a space in the library.
Wow.
It was a mess because we would go to traders, pick up pallets, for example, of mango during the summer that they are about to go off.
Wow.
And the library will be smelling.
Were people complaining?
People complaining.
Yeah.
The staff in the library complaining. And we had to move all of that to my own house. I had a share house.
Yeah.
A mess there as well. Landlord upset. But the thing is that we kept on going. And then we stocked in few supermarkets here and there. But unfortunately, at some point, things went sour with my business partners. And I will say this because, it's
I think
it's
you need
fair.
to hear the reality.
Exactly. It's fair to just share it that I was very passionate about my business. The first business I had, it was like my baby. I just was like, man, I'm going to turn into a billionaire with this one,
Yeah.
And I'm going to save tons of fruit because I also had the purpose around it that I'm going to save so much
So
fruit.
I'm going to do good and I'm going to get paid to
Exactly.
do it. Yeah.
So I was just mad with it. So much that I sent an email to my teachers in university and I told them if I don't come in it's because I have a business meeting.
Yeah.
And I'll prioritize that. And I remember my teacher telling me, listen, you're still young, you have to focus on your university. I said, yeah, but I have business to do, you know. But I think my business partners were not that. I mean, they were obviously. I'm not going to say they were not passionate. They were, but at the same time, not at the level that I feel like
it was 33%. But you felt like you was doing 80%. I get you.
And you know, unfortunately, on that, it caused so many problems between us because I'm seeing myself missing university. I'm paying for it, and then you guys are in here, and if we win it because of my hard work, you winning as well. So I felt like it wasn't fair. So, and again, everybody have their own decisions and mindset. I didn't want to stop them from maybe messing up their university because it was important for them. So at some point I said, you know, guys, I just want to walk alone at this point, and I don't think, you know, I don't want to force you to stop university. That's what you want to do, continue. So but it turned very sour. It turned very bad. I was even asking for more shares actually, but they didn't want, so it turned sour. And at that point, I said, okay, let's go away. I'm going to go by myself.
If you're not going to give me it, no one, that's it. No one gets it.
Exactly.
So
let's just go ahead and I'll go by myself. So I kind of kicked them out from the business. And then it turned very crazy. Lawyers started coming in and stuff like that. And we were really at not a point whereby this should happen because
it wasn't even that big. It wasn't even worth anything for you to be chasing pennies.
Yeah. So emails upon emails at the end, nothing happened because nobody have time to go to court. Yeah. And then
did it affect your studies, the court cases and stuff, or had your studies finished by then?
Oh, it did. Okay. It was in between all of that, to be honest. It was in between all of that. And I actually moved on from them. I had a lawyer that just did some tricks for me.
Okay.
And then I just moved on.
Yeah.
And then I continued. I kept on winning competitions and actually raised around 30,000 after that.
For Ooze?
For Ooze, yeah.
Wow.
And unfortunately, because the shelf life was too small for the products, it was 3 months, the supermarket were a bit 50-50 in taking me because of, shelf life-wise, they wanted a longer shelf life to be committed to a new brand. And I didn't want to make the products unhealthy. Mm-hmm. So I said, it's tough to do this. And it required more money to be able to do that. And at some point I said, it's time to close this one down because, it's crazy.
You mentioned the fact that your first business felt like your baby. Mm-hmm. Like, take me back to the day where you decide that you have to close that first business down. Like, what is going through your mind when you make that decision?
It was tough.
I can imagine.
It was tough, man. I remember that day as if it's today. Every time I think about it, it was so tough because imagine I was playing basketball in Italy and I had to stop that. Well, at some point, I had to make the decision in this country that I'm not going to be a basketball player anymore. I was doing modeling. I had to make that decision at some point, So I felt like failing so much in everything I was so passionate about. Mm-hmm. And the decision of stopping the business was so difficult that it took me, I think, 3 weeks to finally accept that it's over. Because I was like, man, so now what? Because I wanted to be a businessman and now this one to have failed. So it puts me a bit into depression. Unfortunately, it was a tough period. But I had my sister as well who was following my journey. And as a Christian and as a believer, she was like, hey, look, God brought you so far and you have learned so much. So just know that it's still around and you haven't lost anything because the knowledge that you have learned in all these 3-4 years is still there.
Yeah.
Or you can use it to help other people, or you can start something new and use the learning to make it better. I was like, man, that's a great word,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is when something clicked in me, and I said, okay, I'm going to use this opportunity to help other businesses. So I used for a month, I kind of did that.
Some consulting.
Yeah, consulting as a product designer too. I design website, products, I do product development, UI, UX, all of that stuff.
Wow. Because
And
you had all the experience.
exactly.
And just going back to Ooze, like as you look back on it and you've had time to reflect, what to anybody who's listening to this and maybe they're looking at founding their first business, what is something you know now that you wish you knew back then before starting that first business?
Be very intentional initially with your co-founders of where you are standing as founders, as a business. You have to have that uncomfortable conversation initially. At times I see people going 50-50 in a business.
But it's not 50-50.
It's not 50-50. It's difficult to just go 50-50. Someone must make tough decisions at some point. And if there is nobody in power to do that, the company will not move forward. So although I had more shares, I didn't have enough for me to make specific decisions about where we wanted to go, And also, there wasn't that actual conversation of, I am the boss, you are, the founder, you are the co-founder, but still, I make certain decisions when we go to a certain place. And that is, you just find out once you're going forward that unfortunately that matters a lot. Telling someone that you are the boss, it doesn't mean that they are less.
No.
It's just showing that there is leadership in the company. And also, once you reach speaking to investors and VCs, the first question they're going to ask is, who is the boss? That's the question we were asked when we reached that point. So it's so important to have that in place.
So the takeaway there is, if you have multiple founders, ask yourselves, the first question you should ask is, who is the boss?
Exactly.
All right, we're going to hashtag in the comments, who's the boss? Okay, let us know. So yeah, Giuseppe, I love that. And then, not that I want to make you dwell on like the difficult decision you made. Obviously you said it took you 3 weeks. I've met a lot of founders, and like you said, it's your baby. Sometimes you can be wedded to it. Is there a sign that entrepreneurs and founders can look to when they know that maybe this isn't the right business, and maybe we should be looking at the next thing or closing this one down? Like, was there like a pivotal moment that you was just like, was it the shelf life moment, or was there anything else that happened?
So again, probably many people may not be, I may not agree with me on this, but there is this thing about don't put your eggs in just one basket. But for me, when it comes to business, and if you are a true founder and you believe in what you're doing, do it.
Yeah.
Because if you spread out your energy, you realize that you are doing a bit of this, you are doing a bit of that. You are not doing 100% of one thing.
Master of none. Jack of all trades. Exactly. Master of none.
So you are not really growing anything at the maximum level. And I would say there were at times where I was thinking, is this really the right business? There is so many drink business out there. There is Innocent that is so big. There is so many brands out there. But at the same time, I was also thinking, the ocean is so big, there is space for everybody.
Yeah.
And I personally think the reason why probably at that time I wasn't able to do it is probably I didn't have the right people around me.
Okay.
And also, I didn't network enough. Okay. I didn't connect with the industry enough at that time. So I personally think I had a strong brand at the time, and with the right people, with the right connections, and also how to really, the industry is really about how you speak and how you
market yourself.
Exactly how you market yourself. I think I would have had a better shot
A better
at
outcome.
growing the
I love
business.
it. So that, Ooze, that was the first attempt. And then you mentioned the fact that you did some consulting with, all of the experience that you'd picked up from the first business. Then, talk me through where do we get to next?
Yeah, so after that, at some point, I was like, okay, man, business is calling. The entrepreneur spirit is still calling me, I was like, it's not done. I have to go for a round two this time, Although I'm going to be honest, I was so broke.
Yeah.
I didn't have money.
No.
And I was like, man, where am I going to get money? I was asking myself so many questions. Would the companies that believe in me before, would they believe in me again? Because you have given money to me, you have just, burnt it. How are we going to give you money again? So
it's funny you said that. Sorry to jump in. I've listened to podcasts, and it's funny, if you give what I've heard is that if you give a founder money once, they're actually more likely to give it to you than if you've never actually gotten any money before. So even though you think that, and people might be thinking that, it's actually the opposite, which is true, that people actually believe in you more because you've already tried to take the risk.
Exactly.
But anyway,
Exactly. A good example is even the founder of WeWork that raised billions, and then the business kind of failed, and now he has raised 300 million up to start with. So it's so true, I think it's the experience behind the founder, and that comes to me saying that investors invest in the founder,
in the people,
not in the business. And at the time I've never raised actual investment. For me, it was more of grants I've raised, so I didn't really know that this was the case out there. But I still said, let me just go for round two. But this time I have the experience. I've checked myself. I know that, okay, my business partner had their own flows. But me too, I know that I'm not good in sales. I'm not good in numbers. But I'm crazy good in marketing and design and branding. And I love food. So when it comes to product development, my food have to taste good before going out. So I have those qualities. I need someone that will come in and also, have the qualities that I don't have.
To complement you.
Exactly. So I sat down, started the design process. I started from what I know, what I know in terms of branding, design, and things like that. So that was the first step, setting that foundation. So I started designing my website. I started designing, although the product wasn't there, I'm believing, and I'm already started setting up my website.
Yeah. Did you have the name yet?
I didn't have a name, and I'll come to that.
Sorry,
And I didn't give it a name, but I had put down so many names and I've done branding, logos, but I never selected one of them. And after I did the packaging, I was like, okay, this is actually good. Then at some point, someone is giving me a call. I checked, and it's their old friend from college. I pick, I'm like, oh, Claudio, how are you doing, man? It's been a while. And Claudio used to work with me in Tesco as well. We used to do picking in Tesco. Crazy job. If you want to go and do picking in Tesco, after you don't go. It's crazy.
What's picking? Let's
You basically have a pump truck, electric pump truck. You go around in the warehouse, massive Tesco warehouse. You have a machine in your hand that tells you where to go. But that machine also gives you a percentage of how fast you are picking the items.
Wow.
With the agency, you get paid according to the percentage you make. So let's say I was doing night shifts. Normally night shifts, in other companies, you may get paid £9, or at the time, £9, or I'm talking about 2012, 13. You get paid, let's say, £9. But with the agency, you start from £7.50, and then if you hit your target of 100%, then you get your £9.
Wow.
But the thing is that the machine, every time you stop, the percentage goes down.
So basically, you could never stop.
So if you go to the bathroom, the machine thinks you are not working. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Wow.
So that was the crazy job we were doing. But for me, it was my first job. So I was going in. Like me and Claudio, we were the top pickers in the warehouse. We don't eat just 100%. 120, 150, 160. We were running.
Yeah.
And during the day, we would just meet up in college. At times, I will meet him in the corridor of the college. Both of us, we have red eyes. I'm like, man, this life is going to change one day, man. And we would just greet each other and then, okay, see you later. And then he called me and he's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Because he went to university, I went to university. We lost track. And at some point, we also both were fed up with Tesco because we wanted to change jobs. And then he was like, bro, I'm so brokenhearted. My partner broke my heart. I'm like, bro, man, this is crazy. What's going on? He's like, I'm depressed, but I want something to, to be distracted. And he's like, this business, I saw you online doing very well. I saw Ooze drinks, man. How is it going? I want to be distracted. Teach me some things. Get me on board and just teach me. I just want to learn something to get distracted. I said, Claudio, listen, if you're looking for therapy, this is the wrong place.
Yeah.
It's the wrong place, man. Listen, I was depressed some weeks ago because I've closed down this business. It's like, oh, wow. And I said, you know what, let's just meet. I'm working on something new. Let's meet up. And Claudio at that time he told me he was working as a salesperson.
Okay.
So immediately when he told me, I'm like, okay, man, I can see God, you putting things around for me right now.
Yes.
We met up, started having a chat. And then from there, I said, you know what, Claudio, I don't want you just to come and learn. I want you to join me as a business partner. So I told him, I'll give you some shares.
But I'm the boss. No, I'm joking. But did you learn?
We made it exactly.
Okay, good.
Me and him, because I knew him already, we were very honest with each other.
Good. You can have the frank conversation.
Exactly. I'll give you some shares. Obviously, I'm the majority shareholder in the business. Again, I learned about, the things I have to do initially. And then he was very, although he kind of didn't know where he was going, I was very honest with him because I'm a very honest person. I will not take advantage of him, I actually gave him a good portion of shares because I thought, listen, if I want my business partner to be just as ambitious as me, he has to have a good portion of shares. 100%. So I did that. And then also, I allowed him to grow. I never put up obstacle in between me and Claudio or, hey, let's not do this because it's not right. I would be saying, you know what, I did this before, but I like your idea. Let's do it. If it doesn't work,
we go back to
mine. But that gave him so much confidence. And I'm showing you, man, Claudio is someone, my business partner is somebody who is already driven. But the fact that I also did that, he just loved the business. And going back to the name, I did another thing. I asked him, Claudio, I've already designed the packaging and the branding. So to make sure that he will feel even more parts of the business, that every time he pick these snacks, he can see that, okay, this is mine. Exactly.
Yeah.
I told him, I want you to give it a name. How should we call it? He said, I need few days. And then he came back, he said gusto, which means taste in Italian.
Okay.
I said, okay, that's actually a good one. I designed the branding and the U, I made it a smile.
Okay. With
the 2 eyes on it. And then that's it. I said, that's it. We're ready to go.
Gusto Snacks. And there it is. It was born.
And then,
I've got... So as you've spoken there, I think there's like such a clear takeaway for founders who are looking to bring on early people to their business. Is yes, you can be the visionary and you can be clear on the North Star, but I think you were able to get the best out of Claudio because you didn't dim his light. You really were open to all of his suggestions, and what you said there, hey, look, I would typically do it this way, but you know what, let's try this. And that gave him the confidence to be fearless
100%.
Almost and give you ideas. And if it doesn't work, okay, then we'll lean back on my experience. And I'm sure there would have been times where you was right and there were times that he was right, but that really helped you to develop that partnership with him. So to any potential founders, make sure you take that on board. All right, so Gusto Snacks is born. You mentioned the fact that with the first business, you had like 30,000 in grants. I know that, you know, I'm a big fan of your content. I believe with Gusto now, I think it's in the region of like 200,000 you've been able to raise, or maybe in total. Like, what to people who might be in a similar position to you, not have any money, not know where to start with regards to getting money, maybe to fund their idea. What would your advice be to them to go about getting funding?
So I would say the first thing definitely is go for competitions.
Okay.
Startup competition, grants. But the main thing is make sure you have a good deck that, you know, will put out there, and also be innovative. You know, there is some ideas that unfortunately it's tough for you to get funded.
Yeah.
But if you are so innovative with what you are doing, there is a very high chance of you getting funding. And it's not easy as everything else. It's tough. And I would say we applied, I think probably 1,000 up to competitions.
Wow, 1,000 applications.
So many,
Oh my
so
goodness.
many.
Okay.
Me and Claudio, we were just going. Initially, I started myself because I knew how to do it. But then he was involved in seeing how it's done. And at some point, he picked it up, kept on applying. And then we started getting shortlisted. Those that have already won, we still applied. And some of them, we won them again. You know, for example, Share Live Wire, we won the competition again.
Wow.
And many, but the ratio, there's always a ratio to things. You can't just expect I'm going to apply 3 competition and win all 3. No, you have to apply 100. Probably even 100, you not get 1. 200, you get 1 from it. You know, that's how is it.
I think people need to hear that though, because everybody wants everything now. Even me, like sometimes, you know, when I'm trying to get guests for this podcast, sometimes I'll message people, they don't respond. But you have to message 10, 20, 30, 40,
So
50 people, because the quicker you get the no, the closer you are to yes.
100%.
And I think people, they're not always like clear on that.
They're not ready to that.
They're not ready. They're not ready. But so yeah, you finally you've got the packaging, you've got the website, you've got the name. How is it you go? Like, talk to me about how Gusto came to be and how you decided on the product you were going to sell this time.
So I was looking at the issue I had initially, which was the dry fruits. Sorry, it was the drinks. The issue I had was the drinks. So I was like, okay, if the drinks didn't have enough shelf life, how can I get a product that has a long shelf life? And I thought about dried fruits actually. So me and Claudio were also doing a research on the supermarket, and we were like, okay, there isn't too many healthy crepes around. The crepes around, they are pretty much full of oil and preservatives and fried stuff, not to mention names of brands, you know. But, you know, the leading crepes in the UK, it's so much fried. It has 30% oil.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
I love crisps as well.
and we you know, we saw that and we're like, okay, we have to change a bit of, you know, things here. And also the dry fruit section was so boring. When you go in your local supermarket and you watch the dry fruit section, for example in Tesco, it's all grey, transparent packaging, nothing going on. When you see the unhealthy snacks, so colorful, crepes, blue, red, green, so much going on. So there is color psychology here. And we're like, we have to bring something that is healthier, you know, longer shelf life, and that can attract people to buy. And of course, customers don't compromise on taste. So, you know, we love food. Claudio too love food. We sat down, we tasted the products, we tasted different crazy flavors. And, you know, as part of that, we said, okay, we want to make this so unique in terms of flavors that when we bring it in the market, people will be like, wow, what is this, you know? So that's how really we started with apple crepes with a twist of flavor. So we have mango, apple crepes with the juice of mango, passion fruit, coconuts, chocolates, and then the new one we brought last year, which was chili.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
it's all apples. It's all apple centered with dashes of other complementary
exactly,
flavors.
exactly.
Okay.
And the reason why I would say we went with Apple, and this is to all the entrepreneurs, when you starting a business, start with the most easier thing you can ever start with. Don't start with the difficult things. We wanted to save fruit from going to waste, but we realized that we can't save every fruit that is out there. Every fruit is different. It's tough to deal with them, and also cost wise. You are starting in your kitchen. How can you go and get so many fruits and do so many different products? So we said, what is the most wasted fruits out there? Apples. Apple are among the most wasted, and you can find them everywhere. So we started with that, and we said, let's just start with apple with just different flavors. Once we grow, then we shift to other things. So
I love that. And I've got a couple of questions there. You mentioned the fact that you did research, right? And you found out that apples were the most wasted fruit. How do you do that research? Like, is it Google? Are you going to farms? Like, you walking into places? Are you going to Tesco's? Like, how is it you went about getting
that data,
validating your use case?
So I mean, I checked online. First of all, Google is free.
100%.
Starting point was research, but also my research I did in school, in university. That is what helped me.
It helped to inform
exactly.
You, so you already knew.
And and there is this say that they always mention in the industry that goes like an apple a day gets thrown away.
Oh wow, okay.
And because there is too much apples, especially in this country, in Europe as well, so many apples get thrown away. So that is the reason why we went for that.
Okay, so you decide on apples, and then obviously you've made crisps, right? You had the experience with drink, but not making crisp. You mentioned the fact that you start in your own kitchen. How is it that you go about learning how to create crisps? Like, you become a chemist? What, you got a science degree? Like, talk to me.
So we went to buy a drying machine. That was the first thing I did, basically, with Claudio. And we started drying at home. We'll just go and get some apples to test. And because obviously to go even to the farmers to get fruit that would have otherwise been wasted, because people may ask, but why didn't you go straight to farmers to get the fruit that is wasted to test it? Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. There is also minimum quantities down there. You can't just go and pick up a whole truck. What am I doing with it? So to test on a lower scale, we'll go to our local shops, ask them, hey, do you have any fruit that maybe, apples that is close to date? And they'll say, oh yeah, we'll pick that one. And then we would just cut them, put them in the drying machine, leave it in the kitchen. Unfortunately, it was making a bit of noise because we were overusing it. At times, it's 12 hours drying process.
Oh, really? Wow.
My landlord would just come, because tenants were complaining, I'm using so much energy and stuff like that. So at times, I will move to Claudio's room, put it on the floor. We'll be sitting there waiting for hours. And then what we will do is that we will just pack it up and go and test it around. And the main thing we did was understand if what we were doing made sense. On a lower scale, lower budget, we just went to market or just around. Be like, hey, this is my new brand. Can you give me a quick feedback? People were just like, yeah. Some of them would just spit it. Like, man, what is this? Because we had chocolates, chili. We even had apple crisps with peanuts. I think that was even the best one, to be honest. But unfortunately, because of allergy, stuff like that, my manufacturer at the moment can't do them because of the high allergy. But it was one of the top products that people loved so much, Nice. And it came about because I would just get peanut powder, put it on top of, cut the apples, spread it on top. At some point, I started using my oven, and it would become so crunchy. I'll just go out there. People will give us feedback. We'll try again. And the thing is that those ones that didn't like it are the ones that we kept on going back to, because we knew that
you want to take the no to the yes.
Exactly. And some of them, we converted them into customers, which even till now, they still order our products since 2019.
Wow.
and some unfortunately didn't like the product.
But it doesn't need to be
Exactly.
for everyone. You just need to get your loyal customer fan base.
100%.
And as you spoke there about customers from 2019, from thinking about this idea to your first sale, how long was that process? And how much investment, if you don't mind sharing?
I think for us it took us a bit, I would say almost 1 year, working on the products, and
And
again,
that means no income, right? So you're relying
no
on the
income,
grants
no
and
income.
everything.
Exactly.
And are you still working like
I was
other
still,
jobs as well?
Yeah, we were still working other job, me and my business partner, and we were just testing around, and we win the grants and keep injecting in, going around, and then we started looking for a manufacturer because at some point we are spoken with like 300 people.
The landlord's like, you're gonna get out if you keep doing it here, you're gonna get out. So you had to find a manufacturer.
We have spoken with about 300 people. We said, okay, now we have enough data to say these scripts are great.
Yeah.
I remember going into an interview with a company which is a health store. I will not mention their name, but there was this buyer that I was looking for. And I met him and he's like, okay, this is very new. This was 2000 and around still at the time 18. So okay, this product is very new, but nobody has apple crisps with chili, apple crisps with coconut. There is nothing like that around. So stick to what is around. I don't think this will fly. That's what he told me. And he said, he told me, good luck with it. He didn't take the product. And when he said that, I was like, okay, I've got my data that customers like it. So probably if you don't take it, it's your own shops that are going to lose out, because just because you are a buyer, it doesn't mean you are right about, the market. You may have experience, but unfortunately at times, look at Brewdog. There is so many people that passed on them. The beer company. If people don't know about Brewdog, they are one of the biggest companies out of beer right now. Buyers didn't take them in until they proved them that people actually wanted the product. So at times, when you are going to supermarkets or things like that, try and bring crowd behind you.
Oh, really?
That is the best way, because they wouldn't have to work hard to get their customers to love your product. You are bringing your customers in there, which is an addition to their customers.
And as you say that, bring the crowd with you. How is it you bring the crowd? Because I heard that and I'm like, it sounds good, but what do you say? Hey, I've got 300 customers and they've said that they would buy it. Is it you go with that data? Is it like you build an Instagram following for the product? How is it you bring the crowd?
100%, exactly how you said it. You have to find a way to convince them that you have enough people that are buying the product.
Okay.
We have, for example, our most unique product, which is apple crepes with coconut, chili, and chocolate. Especially the chocolate. People are like, apple with chocolate? What is that? This was the best seller last year on Amazon, top 2 dried fruit snack during Easter.
Yeah.
I was like, there is this big brands that are selling Easter, and I'm top brand on Amazon. And I took all of that data, and every time I'm pitching to a store, I'm like, hey, Easter is coming close. This is one of the best products on Amazon. About XYZ amount of people buy the products. And in between that, I've researched also that did surveys. XY% of your customers are in that are also my customers. So they will definitely buy from your shop.
You come with the data.
Exactly.
And then just a question on that, like, you say, when I'm speaking to the retailer or the this and the that, I always find it, I always come back to this podcast, it's hard, or maybe I just think it's hard to get in front of people. How is it that you get in front of the right people? Is it LinkedIn? Is it you're connecting with them at networking events? Like, what is your strategy to make sure you get in front of the right people?
So there is a bit of a miscellaneous in terms of getting in front of the right people. A lot of people think, hey, if I've met founders that are like, I send an email to Selfridges. Nobody came back to me. Of course, you just send an email to their customer service. You will never reach out to anybody. You have to find the buyers. In every section of the store, there is a specific buyer, whether it's toys, books, snacks, even in the snack section, sweets, bakery, every sort of, spaghetti and all of that, every sort of food, there is a buyer for a specific section. So when you go to a supermarket and you see the section on top, there's a specific person that deals with that place. So you have to find that person and email them, or you can meet them at a trade show, for example. LinkedIn is an amazing platform for this. You can use different methods, let's say in LinkedIn Navigator, Sales Navigator, to email the buyers. And then from there, you can extract their emails and then email them. So you have to do a bit of your research and then have your deck ready to pitch to them. Because if that is not ready, and also let your product be ready.
Do you send the deck with the first email, or do you wait for a response and then you share the deck and then you follow up?
Great question. I tend to use different methods. So at times I will attach my deck. At times I will not. I will just do an introduction and say, hey, can you give me the right contacts for me to, send this deck? And if you are not the right person, can you connect me with the right person? They will just come out, yes, I'm the right person, share more information.
Okay, great.
Yeah. At times too, I will just test and say, okay, let me just send the deck. And it does work. But you have to try different methods. And also, with this, it takes time. Sometimes, for us to launch in Selfridges, I think it took us a year or two. It was a back and forth, and you need to keep emailing them. You have to imagine that there is about millions of brands being launched every day in this country. And you think you are the only one who is emailing this buyer?
Yeah.
There is thousands of people that are emailing the buyer, so you can't just think you're going to rest and the buyer will see your email. Your email probably gets lost somewhere. But the most creative ones, because you have to have a very good catchy, subject as well. And the ones that are consistent are the ones that normally get, picked up. And if you don't get picked up, you can just tell them, okay, when do you think maybe in the future would it be, a good product, a good fit? And then you keep also updating them. Yeah. Claudio, for example, sometimes he will just send, and it's not always about forcing it, like talking about your brand. At times, Claudio will just send an industry research. Hey, we have this chili. As I've mentioned, we have a chili product, and just look, the industry is going crazy about chili.
So you educate them. Exactly. And you make sure they understand why it is they need your product. So it's almost like you're selling without... It's Inception. That's what I call it.
Exactly.
It's the dream within the dream. I get it.
Have you seen this post about this and that? Chile is going crazy. Hope I can hear from you. Something like that. Yeah. And buyers will come back. Oh, yeah, Claudio, thank you so much for this insightful blah, 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 blah. Well...
I love it. Giuseppe, I'm really loving this conversation because I really feel like I'm getting keys, and I always know it's good because as you're talking, sometimes I look at this podcast as a business and I'm like, damn, there's so many things I'm not doing as my own founder. I'm like, yeah, I need to start taking this advice. I really love it. So the business has been going since 2018, 2019, so it's been about 5 or 6 years. Yeah. So obviously you start at zero. Like, what are your sales figures like now? What is the business valued at now?
So at the moment, the business is valued at 1.2 million.
Wow.
And we are aiming to hit at least 400,000 units. 400,000 pounds in sales this year.
Wow. And
from that, build on it as a foundation to start hitting profitability, really. We are looking to raise more funding now.
Oh, you are,
because at the moment, it's still just me and Claudio and our other business partner who takes care more of finances.
Okay.
And strategy around structuring the company. Because me and Claudio, we are just running. But we took our business partner, Aubrey, who is a corporate person. He worked in Philip Morris, so as a finance manager. Yeah. So he knows about corporate, and sometimes we are just running, we just drag our guys.
Slow
relax.
Yeah.
Let's just do it this way. He brought structure to the business. So that's why it's so important to have people around you that know what they are doing. Me and Claudio are marketing and sales. Finance, I'm not good in maths, man. So my head around that, look, I don't even go there, but I always make sure I understand what is going on in terms of how much we are making. A bit you have to know as a business person, a bit about your finances. You know, you can't play with that one. But when it comes to deeper finances, I need somebody to support me. And it's okay for you to say, I don't know how to do it. I need somebody who is very strong on that side. So also him, me and Claudio negotiated shares with him on a Monday morning. We grabbed the coffee, we sat down, we agreed with him on some shares. He came on board without getting paid because he has his own job still. We can't really afford him, to be honest.
He's advising because he believes in where it will
exactly,
go.
Exactly. He's a top guy. This Aubrey is too good. Like, he brought the difference of us being entrepreneur and being a company with the structure, I would say, is due to him, you know. And obviously we have the vision. He has more of the structure. So it's an amazing combination. So now we are thinking about bringing in more people, you know, that will support. And we are also very conservative on our money. We are not about, you know, for example, some of the companies set up out there, they will raise so much money and immediately they will go and get offices, they will go and get, you know, crazy team, they will go and buy ping pong, table tennis. There is no need of that, man. You know, you can all work from home, save money, because startup money goes like water, man. It just flies. So if you are not careful, you will end up, you know, wasting money on things that don't make sense. If you want to go play ping pong, we all meet somewhere and play together, you know. So now that is where we are as a business. And for me, I keep watching Mr. Beast. I don't know if you know about
Jimmy Donaldson. I know
I'm
him.
watching his videos. I'm like, man, this is so fun. And I want to connect with the younger demographic. So that is where I want to go with my business in terms of marketing wise. Be fun out there. Do crazy stunts out there with, you know, involve the crowd. That is how I want to go. And again, we haven't spoken about what I did yet.
We can get into it,
But there is so much coming. So much coming this year. And what I did about, you know, the post I did yesterday, it actually gave me so much motivation and made me understand that this thing about Mr. Beast that you thought about, is that these marketing strategies are the reason why, you know, you'll be able to connect with so many people. And I'm all up for crazy stunts.
Well, okay, so let's actually just take a moment because like I've been devouring your content in the lead up to this episode, and you know, you mentioned the fact that Claudio is the sales and you are the marketing. And like I've really seen your marketing. Like, I think the first thing I'll say is that you're really fearless, right? I know for me, sometimes I've even thought once again about going to the streets, doing some street interviews, trying to, you know, engage people on careers and stuff. But when I think about actually stepping outside my house, I'm like, no. But you, no budget. You just write on some cardboard. You stand outside Selfridges. So I suppose my question that I had here is, how is it people can market with $0 or £0? Like, what is your approach to marketing? Because you're blowing up everywhere. And to your point, like, you had a post on LinkedIn yesterday, 25,000 likes, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of impressions. And just talk to me about your marketing strategy.
So, and to add to this, I'm a very shy person.
Oh, wow. On top of all of that.
I'm an introvert.
You could have fooled me.
Listen. I've been like I was so quiet as a person when I was growing up. In university, in high school in Italy, I was so quiet. I remember in high school, there was someone who was doing artistic pictures. And they're like, hey, like, you do modeling. Do you want us to use you? And then they took me in and took pictures of me. Every time I walk in the corridor of the high school, my pictures were there. I was like, oh my God, what is this? I'm trying to hide somewhere. Fast forward Somebody contacted me on Facebook, old friends from Italy. They're like, hey, Giuseppe, you know the pictures you took around 2008 are still in the school?
Wow.
I'm like, wow. But I was so shy. And that made me realize that, man, sometimes we're so shy about ourselves, but what we are doing is actually crazy. We are so judgmental about our own appearances, about the way we speak, about the way, we do things, and we think people really care about us. People really don't care about you.
Everybody cares about themselves.
They're going by their day, really, So don't think you are so important that people will just stand there, no, you are this or this. You just be so surprised that you make somebody's day while they are walking around and they see you lifting this. But people are not that negative. You have some people that will say no, they will not even bother. But there's people that will say yes, And that is always what I've taken as an approach when I'm going out there, that not everybody will stop to look at my cardboard or will stop to interact with me. But there is always a ratio to everything. So for the day, I will keep talking with every single person that I see passing in front of me. And at least out of 10, I know that one person will stop. And that is enough for me to spread the word and give me confidence to keep doing, So even in Selfridges, we are in Selfridges. When we go and do sampling, our product is in Selfridges. People tend to not stop. They will just walk by. Hey, do you want to? No. Do you want to? No. And I'm like, me and my business partner were looking at each other like, what is going on? Or are they afraid of us? What is going on? Or am I too tall that they are so scared of me? But then as we were going during the day, let's say the first 1 hour, not so many people stopped. But at some point, we had so many people stopping by. Hey, guys, because the more they see other people stopping, the more they also get...
Psychology.
Psychology. They just get attracted to it. So that is how things work. You can't expect to be going out there and the first thing you do, boom, I've achieved what I want to do. That is not realistic.
So it's what you said there. It's all about ratios. Understanding that it's about ratios. That struck a chord. That struck a chord. It's all about ratios. And then even like with your own personal brand, right? You've really started to build your personal brand. You're posting a lot on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. Like, what is your approach to the content you're creating? And yeah, like, because it's doing very well. Like, what are you thinking about when you're documenting your journey?
I told myself last year that I need to be more consistent in sharing the story, because I'm the CEO of the brand and I'm the brand. You know what I mean? If you see when you see the CEOs out there and their followers, at times it's even more than the brand itself, because they are the people that are the face of the company, And as I looked at all of this and I said, I'm not talking enough about my journey. I'm not sharing enough of the brand. And I said, I have to be more consistent with posting on LinkedIn. I want to post every day.
Oh, wow.
And I started from end of November. And so in December, I've already gained 2,000 followers on LinkedIn. On Instagram, a post that I posted went viral. I think in about a week, I got about 5,000 followers. I went on TikTok. I was about 700 followers. The same post went viral, hit about 400,000 views, 40,000 likes. And that was just about my personal journey, from where I came from and where I am at the moment. A simple video that I did.
You say simple. I looked at it and I was just like, did you just edit it in CapCut?
Yeah.
Just CapCut?
Yeah.
See, I need to be doing more, man. Because I was looking at it and I was like, I need to document my journey with the podcast. I was like, man. No,
everybody asks me, but that video is so nice. Who did it for you? I just used my phone.
Just your phone?
iPhone 11. That is even messing around right now because I'm not updating it. I hate doing updates. I don't want to get a new phone. And I was just like, oh my God. So a Sunday afternoon, I just posted it. By Monday, the thing I've picked up, it was flying on TikTok. I think I'm at 6,000 followers now. And the new video I posted about the new campaign I did is flying as well. And I've set my own target that this year I want to at least hit 10K followers on each one of my platforms.
Easy.
You know,
Easy.
on LinkedIn, I'm pretty much dead.
I'm challenging you 25K. 25K. That's it. Look, here we go. Comment if you want him. Comment Giuseppe 25 if you want him to go for 25K on each platform.
Look, I cannot say no. So I challenge yourself.
I like it. Wait, so talking about this campaign yesterday, right? Because by the time this comes out, it will have been a couple of weeks, and who knows where it's going to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, like talk to me. So basically, to set the scene, you've obviously had this brand for about 5 years. You tried to get it stocked somewhere, and these guys, they tried to thief the thing. So yeah, tell us what happened, Giuseppe.
So look, if you're okay with me, I'll just mention the name.
Yeah, please.
So I always loved Holland and Barrett because I shop there as well. My wife also buys things from the healthy stuff and peanuts especially. I love peanut, and that is always where I go and get it. So when I started my own brand, I'm like, man, I have a healthy snack here, and they don't have a great option. I mean, they have snacks that are there that are cool, but when it comes to dried fruits, especially dried fruits crisps, their own is all saggy, chewy, not really going on. So I said, let us approach Holland and Barrett, and we started talking to them, and we applied for to speak with them at a trade show, and we actually paid for it.
Wow.
To do an application, because you pay for it. It's called Bread and Jam. You pay around £200 up to send in applications, and the buyers come back to you. And when they come back to you, they will basically ask you for a deck, and also to meet up with samples and then have a discussion. So we did that, and Holland and Barrett selected us. So they had the option to say no, not to select us. So first thing, they selected us. We went there, we spoke to them, and they said they loved the product. But the first thing we noticed is that it wasn't the buyer of snacks. It was the product developer that was there. You see that?
Alarm bells.
Exactly. So me and my business partner, we were watching our faces like, man, what's going on here? So we asked her, so you're not the buyer? She's like, no, I'm the product developer. She was honest. Okay, cool. And then she tried us. She's like, this is actually nice. And she asked us, would you do white label? White label, for those that don't know what is like white label, is you giving your product to a supermarket, and then they will basically put their own logo on top. So it's the same contracts wise, but basically they pay for branding and everything. You put it on their packaging. But they own your snacks to sell to their customers. We said no, because at the end of the day, we are a new brand. And also our investors were not keen much to white labeling, because they say you have to grow. If you are in Tesco and your product is in Tesco, nobody knows it's Gusto Snack. They think it's Tesco brand, or they think it's Holland and Barrett brand. So you kind of lose that connection with customers, So we said no. And we said, listen, we appreciate that you are interested, but we want to launch with our brand. Fine. She said she will give the samples to the buyer. Fast forward, they ghosted us for a bit. So again, like I was saying, it's a continuous chatting with them. So we didn't take that one even as a bad sign. We said it's normal in the industry to be ghost. You have to keep sending emails. So Claudio there, sending emails here and there. And then from June to November, a message from Holland and Barrett. We're like, yo, that's cool. They say, and we are like, did you get the samples? Because we gave it to your product development. No, I didn't get them. What is going on? Did she snack on our snacks while she was coming to the head office? The snacks are nice, but
so they
don't be selfish. Exactly. But he said that, and he said, okay, we can. But my business partner actually tagged the person in the email and said she took the samples. She may be able to explain where they are. No response about that. And then the other guy said, I will actually request another samples. We said, fine. Still, we were like, this is very strange, man. We met product developer. They didn't get the snacks to where it's supposed to go. So she took it straight to the lab, maybe. They're telling us to bring more samples. But we said, okay, let's actually drive there and avoid any, it got lost in the post or we didn't receive it. So we drove all the way to the north, 2 hours, 3, delivered it in the head office. And then straight up, they came back with a follow-up email saying, oh, they have received this. Let's have a call. So we have a call. We talk about marketing and how we're going to launch in their stores. And I was like, man, my dream of launching in Holland and Barrett is close, man. We were so happy. We told our investors, oh, we had a meeting with Holland and Barrett here and there. And then they disappeared. Bro, it's crazy. They disappeared, and at some point we were like, what is going on, man? You took the samples, and if you don't want to launch the brand, just say you don't want to launch and we'll be fine.
Don't mess us about.
Yeah, you dragged us all the way from June 2022 to 2023. We had the meeting, and now you are not even mentioning anything. So I think in August 2023, the buyer came back and actually confirmed to me that, oh, I'm sorry. This was a new buyer. She's like, oh, I'm sorry for the delay. There was this and that. I'm the new buyer. But I just want to confirm that, unfortunately, we are not looking to stock you, but because we have decided to create our own version of your products. I was like, man, this is unbelievable. Man.
Did you have intellectual property?
When it comes to food, it's difficult.
Okay.
It's like almost going to pick a tomato and saying you are trademarking tomato.
I get it.
You can't really do that.
So this is one of the risks, right?
It's very tricky. So because the ingredient you are mixing and things like that, unless it goes through a particular process and you can trademark that one, but that's why many of the supermarkets do this to many of the small brands. There is thousands of brands that when I launched my campaign, so many people came to me like, me too, they did this to me. And Holland and Barrett particularly, apparently they are known for doing this.
So just to be clear, they ghosted you and then they created their own product.
Yeah.
And then rather than just be upset and, not even throw your toys out the pram, wallow, you do something about it and you turn this into an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like this happens, and how do you respond?
100%. So first of all, I went to buy the product they created. I checked it. I'm like, okay, the front, dried, not fried, like we do.
Literally the same tagline.
Is at the front. We use air dried. They say also they use air dried. So they write air dried, not fried at the front, like we have. At the back, we use wonky fruits. We save fruits from going to waste. They claim at the back of their product that it's made from wonky fruit. And I was like, Holland and Barrett, when did you start reducing food waste? You are not known to be doing this. So I said to myself, this is not going to be, you want to waste my time, but it's not going to be a waste of my time. I'm someone who I love using cardboard. I've been doing it so much that ideas would just come in my head. I'll immediately start writing on my cardboard, step out, and just do my campaigns. So I said, what if, because you have done this, it's not fair. So since you have done this, I want to use your own customers to tell you that my product is better than yours. The original is always better than the copied one. So I said, let's go in front of their customers and get them to taste my product, taste their own product, and vote. And then I will send the customers' votes to Holland and Barrett and tell them, Holland and Barrett, look at your own customers are saying that our product is the best, so stock us. I was still willing to collaborate, to be honest. Maybe now,
not so much.
Because the crowd is telling me not to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was the intent of, okay, I'm not going to be going against them because, to be honest, I don't even have money to go to court. It's a big company, you know.
You just wanted to turn a negative into a positive situation.
Exactly. Took my car, but went in front of their stores across London. And I took a particular picture of the first one I did, which was in Catford, the Holland and Barrett store. And I wrote on the cardboard, snacks so yummy, they copied in a hurry. And then literally there, lifting it up, I'm about to post a video. I think I've posted a video on Instagram, on TikTok, actually showing me talking with people and doing that in front of their shops.
So what was it, like 300 people?
Around 200 people.
200.
Yeah. I would say about 200 people, but two people voted for Holland and Barrett, which I don't know if it's their own
Yeah.
people who work for them, maybe voted for them, but 200 people voted for Gusto. So I said, this is actually good. I'm going to post
And now
it.
you can use that data.
Exactly. And I said, 100% going back to using data, and I said, you know what, actually, I can involve the crowd online. Why just stop here? Let me just involve everybody, and in the meantime also share my marketing activities, which in turn, number one, will boost my brand, because a lot of people will come and know about my brand. And it's also good for you, Holland and Barrett, because if a lot of people come and know about Gusto, and if they know that you have taken me in your shops, it's a win-win for everybody,
So to the buyer at Holland and Barrett, when you're ready, get your act together. Giuseppe's waiting, and break me a little 10% intro fee. You know what I mean? Because we're about to put this out there. I just want a little bit of connection fee. Call me the agent, okay? Thank you. No, I'm joking.
And I think it took me a bit to post this, and I'm not gonna lie. The way it's going now, I posted it. Boom, straight up in the first 15 minutes, 600 likes. People just tagging Holland and Barrett, going on the website, signing up, buying snacks. My website is flying every day. Yesterday, I think it was about 3,000 visits. Today, just today 5,000 visits on my website. Wow. Organically. I'm not even, the website even started going crazy, So, and then I was like, man, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't even I think just yesterday over 2,000 people followed me. Today as well, I'm getting close to 2,000 people. 4,000 people following me in just 2 days on LinkedIn.
Crazy.
And people reaching out, distributors, hey, don't go to Holland and Barrett, we will give you the opportunity.
Come to us. Another
company approaching me, saying, and then I'm also using the opportunity to contact people that have ghosted me for a while. Hey guys, because the thing is hot on LinkedIn, so I'm just sending emails around. Hey guys, have you seen my post? Anyway, our crepes, Holland and Barrett wanted our crepes. Is a validation that the snacks are great for the market. So and going back, it took me a back and forth. Again, you see me that confident in front of cameras and everywhere, but at times I have my own times where I'm like, is this really that good thing to do? Will it fly? What if people think it's cringe? Is that how you say that word?
Yeah, cringe.
What if people think, oh, what is this guy doing? Doesn't make sense. This thing I did, by November I finished already. It took me like 2 months to keep thinking about it. And my wife was like, Giuseppe, just do it. She was the one who took me. She's like, Giuseppe, let's go. She took a picture of the thing. She's like, come on, man, tell like this. That. To be honest, I was like, maybe it's not going to fly. And
but
then...
But if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle.
Exactly.
You have to and like, as I speak to you, like, cross out cringe, replace it with inspiration.
100%.
Because like you said, the opportunities and the thing is, the opportunities that are coming right now, everybody think that these things happen overnight, but this is like the compounding of maybe 10 years of hustle.
Yeah.
Like from the first business to the second business to never giving up, to always trying. And I think to those people who, they've mentioned that, brands have stolen from them, maybe 98% of those people, they just let their business wither away. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some fight. but there isn't many people who fight back in the way that you have with the social media. With I call that the guerrilla warfare,
Exactly.
but on the social war, on the social media platforms.
Guerrilla marketing.
So that is the
100%.
takeaway. Like, if you can't fight with your pockets, you can fight with creativity and community, and that's the power of community.
You said it all, man. 100%. Like, creativity is all we have. You know, these big companies, they have money, but they can't beat us with creativity. So going out there and doing that, first of all, I showed everybody, because there was a post I posted in the beginning of the year. I don't know if you saw it, whereby I said, this year I'm going to go all out. If you are a supermarket who comes to me with certain attitudes, just know you're going to hear from me. Yeah. And two, if you say no, just be ready to deal with me, because I'm looking for you to turn those no's into yes. Yeah. And then I posted this one. And right now, I think it's going to hit over 30,000 likes.
Oh, wait. Probably has during this conversation.
And that's only on my platform. Imagine the over 800 people that have shared it.
Yeah.
That is free marketing for me. You know, I've not spent a penny on this campaign online. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm gonna continue to follow your journey. We're gonna run this back when you have the multi-millions. Hopefully, you've got some time for me, because you know what I mean. Because this has been amazing. So as we round out, like, I think there's been so many takeaways from this conversation. But my first question is, to the founder who's not yet taken that step, or maybe they have a business and they're not sure what to do next. What would your main piece of advice be for them?
Stop just reading books and go out there and do what you have to do. Because, listen, there is so many inspirational books out there. So many entrepreneurs I've met. Oh yeah, I've read thousands of books, but then you haven't achieved anything. What's the point of that? You know what I mean? Read the books, get inspired, go out there and get it done. Take the first step, because that is, look, one thing that we all have in common is that there is something we have not been good at when we started. So that embarrassment is there for everybody. So just take it in, suck it in, go out there, get embarrassed. But what comes after is confidence, exposure. You even become more creative with it. And, it's a win-win for you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And then in terms of Gusto, you continue improving the product, you continue with these marketing campaigns. Where is it you see the business in the next 5-10 years?
So I see Gusto as being one of the top, fruit snacks companies in the UK and in Europe, especially when it comes to healthy snacks that are good for you, but at the same time they are exciting in terms of flavor. And we also want to be one of the top sustainable brands. If you look at Patagonia, they are a sustainable brand in everything they do. We also want to be that. We want to have that aspect to our business, and also the guerrilla marketing. That we want that to be our signature, and really have the crowd, because at the end of the day, a brand is how people perceive your company. So at the end of the day, that's what we want to build. We want to own the crowd as much as possible. Yeah,
I love it. I love it, Giuseppe. This has been such an inspirational conversation. We do have a quick fire round. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Instant hit product or slow growing with huge potential?
Grow. Grow and slow.
Okay. Slow. Large average team or small exceptional team?
Small exceptional team.
Loyal customers or constant new customers?
Loyal customers.
I love it. Pivot completely or stick to original vision?
I would say stick to the original vision.
I like it. Complementary co-founder or like-minded?
Like-minded.
Oh, okay. Focus on product or investor relationships?
Investor relationships.
I like it. Highly profitable or eco-friendly business? You can say both.
This
because I can see you.
This is tough.
Yeah.
I would say both.
Okay.
Because not always you are able to get a eco-friendly. The eco-friendly comes with time. So focus on the profitable as you go in, and then keep working on of the eco aspect of it.
I like that. Be acquired or remain independent.
Sorry, beer.
Be acquired. So the business is bought or remain independent.
Ooh, man. I would say bots.
Okay. I love it. And finally, who's your dream dinner guest?
Who is my dream dinner guest? I would say I would love to have a dinner with James Watt, the founder of Brewdog. Because he went out there and did so much of this marketing stance. And they started where we were. We also started. And look at where we are.
Yeah.
You know, he's a multimillionaire and the business is doing so much in terms of sustainability. So even just a dinner to pick up his mind, and it's just inspirational for me.
I love that. Giuseppe, we do have a closing tradition on this podcast. With everything that you've been through, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give your younger self, and would you still be doing the same thing?
I would say don't be quiet. Go out there and, scream about your brand. Network as much as possible. Connect with so many people as much as possible, because people are the ones that, drive brands, that, push brands. So make sure you are well connected, and also be creative as much as possible, because that is really what makes the difference between a brand that is not making it and a brand that is making it.
I love it. Giuseppe, where can people find you and learn more about you?
100%. So I'm on LinkedIn, Giuseppe Baidoo. On Instagram, you can find me again, Giuseppe Bay or Giuseppe Baidoo. Gusto Snacks, you can find us at www.snackgusto.com.
We're going to link it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then on Instagram, if you look for gusto.snacks, and also on LinkedIn, Gusto Snacks. That is where you find us the most. On TikTok as well, but TikTok we're still working on the actual business page. And then we are on Amazon as well. So if you look for Gusto Snacks or Gusto Snacks Crepes, you'll find us down there.
Love it. We're going to make sure to link that all in the show notes. And guys, to everybody who's gotten to this point in the podcast, you know what to do. Make sure to continue showing us love, support, comment. Let us know how you found it, at WMBFD Pod. This is another episode of What My Best Friend Does. If you didn't know, now you know. Now go outside and take some immediate action. Over and out.